happened with Daniel Dubois. No one really talks about it. Just said he got ill, which is kind of vague.
There's a lot of things that are going around saying that he possibly failed a test or something like that. I don't know. This is what a bunch of media outlets asked me what I thought about it. But personally, I don't know. It's weird with the UK commission, even though it's in Saudi Arabia, I know it's governed by UK officials. I don't know, bro. There's a lot of speculation, you know what I mean? So time will tell, but I do know that, Dubois sometimes can be very mental. So maybe they seen something that he wasn't ready for the night against Joseph Parker. And I said a long time ago, they never really fancied a fight with Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker is very agile, he's moving, he's durable. So, but I think Dubois has been coming along against a lot of good opponents. He got a win against me. I wasn't at my best, but, he's been improving. So all we can do is wait and see.
And yes, that is Jarrell Big Baby Miller, and that is his counterpunch on Daniel Dubois. And, he did claim, and he went there with the mental issue, and a lot of people really overlook that. They go far-fetched to things of like PEDs or banned substances or felon drug tests and things like that, which also is what Jarrell Miller did mention in that particular video segment clip. But a lot of people don't think about the mental aspect, the possibility of doubt. Okay, and a lot of people don't think about that. A lot of people think like, oh, well, maybe he got an STD, which is ridiculous, or he had a failed drug test. The conspiracies came, and that's already been debunked because the BBB took urine. If he had a STD, okay, which is kind of sick, honestly, because he has a baby on the way, let's not go there. Or he had a drug test or failed a drug test when VADA was there. So you got VADA and you got BBB. So that debunks both of those. But it doesn't excuse the possibility of mental doubt, maybe a renege of possibilities, because again, the same guy, like I keep reminding you guys, reminded everyone with his own words, and he said it for the second time. They originally didn't want a guy like Parker because he's agile, he can box, and he's faster, and he moves around. And a lot of times what we notice about Daniel Dubois, if you move around too much, like the Usyk fight, or you can take the shots and he can't knock you out just like Joe Joyce, right? He will probably mentally crumble. Okay, so those are two different situations where he could knock you out, and that's his specialty. Okay, that's his pleasure to knock you out. That's what he does. Daniel Dubois gets you out of there. You seen his last fight? Look what he did to AJ. He knocked AJ's ass out. That's what he does. But if he can't knock you out, he may have a problem in the later rounds. Okay, so he basically quit in the 9th round. And in the 10th round with Joe Joyce, when Joe Joyce had the granite steel chin, the mutant ability to take those shots back in the day, right? He couldn't get him out of there, and he crumbled in 10. He took a knee. Sure, Joyce was hitting him back, but he quit because, hey, I can't hurt this guy like I've hurt every other fighter before that. That's why his knockout ratio was so high. But if he couldn't do that, okay, mentally, he has nowhere else to go but down or out. Okay, so a lot of times people don't really take that under advisement, and consider that as a possibility, right? Me, I just think he got sick, and I think he should have told some damn body that he was sick, at least his dad. You know what I mean? But he didn't want to say anything to anyone because he didn't want to disappoint anyone, which I can understand that, and we've already covered that. But this is something worth mentioning because, again, this is Joseph Parker, the same guy that his team did not want to face at the Days of Reckoning because they were unsure. Why? Because he just got out of a fight with a guy that was mobile, that was more agile than I feel than Joseph Parker was. So they didn't want to get back in the same boat. It's like putting Canelo Alvarez in there with a guy like a pure boxer or a guy that can move and box like Floyd, like Lara. You don't want to put him in that same category with the same style of fighter or a similar style of fighter. It's the same situation. So everybody thinks, oh, Dubois got better like they said about Canelo. Oh, Canelo's got better. Who says he got better? You just put him in with different styles of fighters. Therefore, it may appear and give you perception that, hey, he has improved as a fighter, which in reality, he has not, because you just decided, hey, let's put him in there with someone like Jarrell Miller, you know, or with someone like Perro Angulo, right? Alfredo Perro Angulo, guys that just move forward and throw punches. James Kirkland's. Those guys are not Erislandy Ladas or Floyd Mayweather's or Dimitri Bivens. Those guys have different skills and they can box your face off. And those guys are all wrong for guys like Canelo Alvarez and Daniel Dubois. So it may be a mental thing where they probably thought, just a theory, okay, that maybe that they couldn't take that fight, especially if he is sick, though. Think about it. It might be a combination of the two. Okay, Daniel's not feeling too good. So therefore, Daniel's declining in performance. Okay, remember Saturday he was perfect. Then Tuesday he was not. Then Wednesday he was even worse than Tuesday. So they seen no se dive, right, in performance level with Daniel Dubois. And then Thursday, he was like, bro, I'm really not feeling too good. And then they found out all this other stuff going on with Daniel. Then he had to spill the beans. And then, of course, you know, the biology and the analysis said the rest. But saying all that to say this, okay, due to the fact that you weren't feeling too well, because of that, you weren't doing as good performance-wise, on top of fighting a fighter that has a challenging style. Hell yeah, let's drop this fight. Even though Daniel Dubois probably didn't do it, but everyone around him did, because they know exactly what Jarrell Miller knows. And I heard, as well as you guys are hearing now and yet again. But you guys tell me what you think of Jarrell Miller stating that Daniel Dubois suffers with mental strength or doubt, okay, or his team doubted that they could possibly beat Joseph Parker on top of having a little viral infection. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunching. Peace!